so in order to get the best real estate photography photos, we're going to use a program to help us capture multiple exposures of the same image, so that we get the best lighting information to combine together to get the best photo possible. So what we're going to do is go into the App Store. We're going to look for a program. It's called Camera Pixels Pro. So Camera Pixels Pro. They have a Pro and a light version, a free version. I recommend getting the Pro version just because it has additional settings that'll help us taking photos, and actually has higher resolution images. So it is a paid version. I think it's like $6.99 or $4.99. Anyway, you'll want to go ahead and invest in this application. Once you download and install it, go ahead and open it up. So click on the open button there. And now we're going to set the program up with the correct settings for real estate photography. So we're going to start here on the top left, and we're going to go ahead and enable our grid line. So click on that little square in the top left. Okay, and then just click on where it says grid. And we want to have as many grid lines as possible when taking real estate photos to help us to frame our shot correctly. We want to make sure that it's correctly capturing the type of images we want, which is going to be JPEG, and that's, I think, the default setting. Next, we want to make sure that the flash is set to off, which it is. And in the bottom left, there's a little cog there. We're going to click on that to get some additional settings. And we're going to step through each of these settings one by one, and turn on the ones that we want to have on, and making sure that the ones we have off are off. So we're really only concerned with a couple of the settings here, and that would be persistent capture mode. We want to go ahead and turn that on, and persistent capture settings, we're going to turn that one on as well. And then down here where it says EV bias step, f-stops, we'll want to select 1.0. And those are the only settings that we need to select for our purposes. So go ahead and click done. The next step would be to select mode. And in mode, we're going to be doing exposure bracket, and this will allow us to take multiple exposures of the same image. So if you have a wide angle lens, go ahead and select that now to 0.5. And we're going to adjust some of the camera settings here on the right. So the only one we're really concerned with at the moment is this ISO setting. So click that, and we're going to set that to as low as possible, which is 20 on my camera. The next step would be to click on the set button right here on the right side. We want to make sure that these settings are also correct. We want to have the resolution set to the highest possible. We want our crop to be 4:3, which is standard photo. The quality at 100%, and stabilization set to on. So for the exposure bracket section, we want to have the image count set to 3, and we want the EV bias set to 2.0. Okay, again, we want to make sure the flash is off. We want to set the timer to off, image count to single, and then this lapse section here, we want to set this to 1 because we want to have a little bit of time from when we push the shutter button to when it takes the pictures, to make sure that we're not introducing any camera shake into the photo. So once that's done, we can go ahead and save it as a preset, and we'll just call this 3 bracket exposures. And hit enter, and we'll make sure everything is set the way we want it. And we can see that it's the camera on the back, ultra wide, exposure bracketing with an ISO of 21, with an exposure duration. The exposure duration, that's not important because we're going to change that as we take photos. Exposure bias set to 0, white balance set to auto, focus also set to auto. Output format was the JPEG, which we wanted. Torch, meaning the light, and want that off. Image resolution, again, all these settings we had previously just set, so they all look correct. All right, and everything looks great. So you want to save that as that preset, and now you're ready to take some photos. If you turn off the application and you need to find these again, you can just go into the mode section, Under presets, you'll see your presets here. The last one here is one we just saved under 3 bracket exposures. And this will set up your camera settings so that they're exactly the way we just set them up. And you'll be ready to take photos. So after you're done taking your pictures, you'll send me the photos, and I will combine the 3 images and process the photos so that you can get the best possible image from your camera. So good luck, and I hope you have fun taking some photos.